Hello everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Pestrich. Welcome to another sim market review, where today we're looking at A2A Simulations AccuSim Piper J3 Cub, the academic version. Now, first off, we're going to look at everything with this plane. We're going to look at the exterior, we're going to look at the interior, we're going to take her for a flight, and I'm going to tell you all about the plane. But first, before I do, I want to say there are two versions of this to buy. The links are down below. You can either get it from A2A Simulations itself or Sim Market website, link down below. You can either have the academic version, which this is, or the professional version. Now, this indicates what simulator you use. It has no bearing on the complexity of the aircraft. So if you have the academic version, you have the professional version, you have the same version. It's just which simulator did you purchase? Did you get the academic version of P3D, or did you get the professional or professional plus? That's the version you will get. On the Sim Market website, it does also state P3D version 4 exclusive features include PBR, which is physically based rendering of both cockpit and exterior, upgraded 3D virtual cockpit, a new high poly high passenger and male and female pilot, as well as a tail dragger flight dynamics tuned for P3D simulation platform. Now, I do also believe that that's what you get in version 5, which is the version I'm using. We're here at the Bora Bora airport, and I have got live weather, which you can hear. It's actually raining. So let's get straight into it first. So, first off, A2A Simulations, I believe, are the best general aviation and warbird developers in P3D or flight simulation, full stop. Their attention to detail, their flight model, and what they put into it in terms of what extra other things you get is just unsurpassed with any other. In fact, few airplanes define what this plane really is more faithfully and distinctively than any other plane. This plane is truly a stick and rudder, and you can actually see the stick there. If we go inside the flight deck, you can it is literally a stick and rudder. And one of the things that I absolutely love about these planes is what detail is not only put on the outside but on the inside. Look at all, you get to see all the pulleys, all the cables, and actually see them take effect, as we'll see all this later. One also disclaimer I want to say is that if you do have EA turned on, there is a file inside the installation of any A2A simulation plane, which will give you rain effects on your windshield, and I'll show you which one that is. If you go into your add-ons and you go for A2A, you'll see in the gauges folder there should be this file here, windshield DLL, in the gauges folder, and basically what that will do is it will put raindrops on the windshield coming down, realistically, like you get with some other planes. Unfortunately, when you activate EA, I find that this actually triggers a DXGI error in combination with the Active Sky weather engine. I've never had it with Skyforce weather engine, but I have got it with the Active Sky weather engine, and I only ever use EA now. So if you're not a fan of wanting to have a DXGI error and you do want the raindrops, then you just simply don't use EA, and you won't get the DXGI errors. If you prefer using EA over getting the windshield effects like I do, then just remove that file from the folder and it won't happen again, basically. So anyway, the most single important thing about this airplane is it will bring you a honest, true to life stick and rudder flying experience. A2A simulations, what they really give you when you buy a plane off them is you get like pure flight dynamics, pure explanation of the combustion of the engine, and actual maintenance as well of the plane as well. Most of the time you get a airplane hangar with your planes from A2A, and it is actually a persistent state for this plane. So as you can see, I've had no hours since my last overhaul, and it's in an excellent state. So it suggests that there's 300 hours between each overhaul, which you can actually change to 1800 if you wish. The amount of time I've been flying this is 1.2 hours, and this is kind of like your maintenance hangar, so you have to maintain your A2A aircraft as well as fly them, and kind of it's a whole experience that you get, and that's just one of the things that I love. You also get with all A2A planes a kind of a map that you can bring up. You also get a payload and fuel manager where you can add fuel to your plane. Although this doesn't relate if you have GSX and you request fueling from there. It doesn't actually relate to that. This GSX is a separate system. This goes by the default airplane. So if I was to choose 25% here, it doesn't reflect that here. Okay, and A2A simulations go by this fuel manager, not the default one. So really, the GSX refueling is purely just a visual plus. You can actually add pilots as well, weight and baggage as well. You can check your oil. And you can even refill it if it needs. You also charge your radio battery. Now it's at 100% here. So again, keeping a maintenance of your plane is another thing that you'll be doing. That's just a few of the things that I love that A2A put into their planes. So what do you get when you purchase the Piper Cub? You obviously get, with every A2A aircraft, gorgeous construction inside and out down to the last rivet. You also get the flying qualities, the flight dynamics, which are built by pilots, and unprecedented stall and spin realism. So you could really do really good training in these planes. This now includes the standard J3 Cub, the Tundra tires, which is what this version is, floats and skis. So you get 4 different varieties of the J3 Cub in various different colors. You also get a 98-page full-sized pilot's manual written by Mitchell Glicksman, who re-edited and updated by Nick M for the P3D version 4 release, because I understand the P3D version 4 release is different from the P3D version 1 to 3 and the FSX version. You also get, like I showed you, a fuel delivery system and in-cockpit flight map for handy in-flight navigation. Now, I'm going to go through more of what you get and what's included, but let's get in and let's take off. So first thing what we have to do is we have to bring up our kind of like a little checklist here, and what we want to do is we want to get rid of those tie downs, turn the control locks off so we have full mobility of our controls, and that's probably about it. And then I'm going to actually get a pushback from GSX, just so I can get out of here. Obviously, you probably won't get a pushback from you won't get a pushback especially like that either.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Brilliant. Let's go.
So other things that include with this, with all the models, you get A2A specialized materials with authentic metal. I do believe in P3D version 5, if you activate EA mode, all like surfaces, all material surfaces look more realistic. So metal looks more like metal. Wood looks more like wood. Concrete looks more like concrete. Obviously, this is really dependent, and it's of course the visual look of your sim on which add-ons you put in and which texture size resolutions the developers use. I would say that I've seen, as a side note, separate to this review, is that a lot of people still use the sort of old way, like the FSX and P3D version 1 to 4 way of utilizing the sim, and are really restricting the look of their sim and what their sim can actually look like by using sort of add-ons that they've used in old days, which aren't really relevant in today's sort of HDR day. But anyway, aside from that, the sound as well is engineered by A2A sound professionals, and the AccuSim physics creates an entirely new world, including true wing, airframe, engine, ground, water, and internal systems behavior. And for anybody who doesn't know what AccuSim is, AccuFeel, which you can use for any plane, it's basically like a sound system that attaches itself, and it really adds a level of realism to your plane. Now, AccuSim is kind of the same, but more to do with the physics of the plane as well, whereas AccuFeel is more to do with the sounds of any plane. AccuSim is only for A2A planes. As well as this, there is also third generation AccuSound, like I mentioned, and it allows for a direct connection to the AccuSim and the physics engine of your simulator, be it FSX or P3D, with airflow through the airframe, window, door, structural creaks, bumps, jolts, with 390 sounds in total. And you'll hear that as we get going. Oh yeah, we better start the engine. So I'll just quickly do the old engine auto start just for time's sake. It is pretty easy to get this plane going, in all honesty, so good engine start. Right, let's get into the flight deck and let's have a look. Now, the default camera system will always place you in the back seat here, where there is also where you can fly the plane as well. It is totally up to you, and it does give you a wider angle of view. I prefer sitting in the front seat though, so I'll just move myself a little bit closer. Right, there we go. Okay, let's turn this plane around. Now, like I said, the one thing I love about A2A is how everything looks in the flight deck. Look, leather looks like leather, wood looks like wood, metal looks like metal, and you can even see all the direct pulley system of everything moving. That's one thing I love, is, you know, you can actually see these cables moving, pulling the airframe, and the sort of the elevators and the ailerons. Everything is super detailed, as with everything with A2A. Right, let's turn around and let's go. So we're just going to do a little bit of a flight so you can see this in action. We're just going to turn the plane around now, and then that'll be it. Now, as with any tail dragger, and especially since this is a single engine, you must use your brake and your throttle to really help steer your plane successfully. Tail draggers, you know, the engine is pulling the aircraft from the front rather than sort of pushing it from the back. So, you know, turning, you know, is done via the back, but the, you know, engine thrust, I guess, is done from the front. So that's just part of the realistic ground physics that come, as well as, you know, the rock of the wings, the buck of the tail, tire, skis, Tundra tires, depending on which one you're using, all have their own distinctive ground handling benefits and limitations. Each aircraft also comes with its own sound set, which is tied in with the physics of the airframe. I have the Tundra tires, and they really do demand respect for the size and weight of the larger tires. Really have to do a 3-point landing, on tarmac, to really not damage your plane, which will be reflected in your hangar if you do damage it. If you do land hard, if you do stall your engine, if you do, damage your airframe during flight, then it will be reflected in your hangar, and your plane will not perform as it should in your next flight unless you give it an overhaul. Also, water physics simulate waves, the water drag, and it creates an authentic on-the-step experience when flying over water, and I'll show that as well as we fly over the water. Let's get back on the flight deck. Speaking of the flight deck, audible cockpit experience is made with professional recordings from actual Piper J3 aircraft. A2A used 3 different actual Piper Js to get all the sounds for their models, so this is an accurate sound. You can hear the creak there of the brakes when I apply the brakes. That is part of the AccuSim experience, which if you have AccuFeel, it will also happen with any other plane as well. Another thing as well, when you damage your plane, if you try and take off with a damaged engine, you basically have like what's known as a 3rd generation engine, and that includes engine sputters, engine spits, and it'll run rough when it is damaged. Also, both engine and airframe physically vibrate and shake based on real world conditions. Right, here we go. Let's take off. I'll do the takeoff from the outside so you can see. So if you pitch forward too much, you will end up crashing your plane. You have to do this very, very carefully. You really have to take care when taking off. I think we better just take off to the air now, actually. Obviously, stalling and everything. We will do a stall as well. It also has carburetor icing modeled, which is critical in the proper management of any Continental A658 engine, which is what is installed. Obviously, starting an engine from cold, starting an engine from warm will have different. For example, if you start a simple engine that is cold, you expect that it will run rougher and less reliable when until it's warmed up. So if one morning you go to start your engine, something seems different, it doesn't behave as you would expect it to, it's most likely because it's a cold day. And that is reflected in the flight model, making it even more realistic. So what does it look like inside the flight deck? Looks like this. Beautiful. Right, we're going to head over beyond these mountains here, and we're going to try some stalls. So we'll get high enough. I'll end up stalling now if I'm not careful. Build up some speed. Get some height going. Oil temperature's good, oil pressure's good, RPM's probably where I want them. Don't want to go any higher. Beautiful day today. Look at that down there, eh? Those little houses. Beautiful coral reefs down here. Right, let's get a bit more height and then we will do a stall. Dude's got his shades on. Right. Okay. So we're going to activate a stall, reduce the throttle, and pitch up. And approaching stall speed. There we go. Stall is activated and we have lost it. Time to recover. Now, of course, with AccuFeel, you can make the sound of this stall even more realistic by adding an angle of attack limit, a stall instability, and it even tells you kind of, you know, where. Also a stall speed as well. So the you can also set a maximum speed for the airframe. So we set that around 16 degrees and then pitch up, and then that's when the stall begins to take place, and it's a bit more aggressive as it shakes and vibrates. And there we go. There we go. Each plane will sound a little bit different as well, depending on what type of plane you have got. But I really, really highly recommend the A2A planes. They are the best general aviation planes in P3D, and also World War II and World War I planes. If you do like the warbirds, they honestly do the very best. Right, let's find the runway and we will land this plane. So I believe it's just over there, so let's hop back in and we'll come down for a landing. So at the moment this is priced £33 on the Sim Market website, and regular updates you get for free in the future. And A2A simulations still support P3D. I've also reviewed other planes from A2A, and every A2A plane is worth a purchase. I'm not a huge fan of Warbirds, but I've bought the Warbirds planes, as well. Literally just because of A2A being that good a developer. I can't speak highly enough of them. They are probably one of the best airplane developers for P3D with what they put in to their planes. Second being FS Labs. Right, here we go. Coming in for landing. Oh yeah. Make sure that's set right. Look at those beaches, man. I am going to go swim in the sea after this review. I tell you. I cannot wait. Beautiful. Bora Bora. Right, here we go. So we'll push it to the outside now. Here we go. Yeah, Roger, Mr. Murdoch coming in for a landing. Coast is clear. Ghost Rider, I want to buzz the tower. Mate, there is no tower. Here we go. Perfect plane to land on Johnny Depp Island. Oh, is it gonna be a greaser? Oh, we crashed it! Dude, more practice is needed. Look at that. Bang. And that will be reflected in the maintenance hangar as well. Damaged prop. Look at that. Condition is fair now because I've got a damaged prop. So next time I try and fly this plane, I'm going to have to fix it and overhaul it first. Sorry, A2A Simulations. I damaged your plane. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this full-on review of the Piper J Cub 3 academic version from A2A Simulations. You can get it down below in this link to SimMarket. Also, don't forget, I give away vouchers at the last Friday of every month to any one lucky person in my giveaway for SimMarket vouchers, €50. All you have to do is be a subscriber on my channel, leave a comment down in any one of my P3D videos, and if I do call out your name on my Rate My Plate Away live vlog, all you have to do is contact me and you'll get your vouchers. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.